it was never a question of branch. Like for me, if I ever was going to serve, it was very clear, like I am going to be a Marine.
Tell me a little bit about why the Marine Corps for you. What was it? When did it start? And because that's those, every time I get a chance to engage with a Marine, particular Marine officer, it's like, man, there's some deep correlation to the inspiration of why they chose the Corps.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. Good question. I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina, where I grew up. So I grew up about 10 miles from Parris Island. My dad's a preacher, still is this day, Community Bible Church down there, over 30 years. He's been down there. So I grew up around a lot of Marines. A lot of my friends, in church and playing sports and stuff, like the sons of drill instructors, like, a lot of Marine culture there in Beaufort. So it's very familiar to me. At the same time, it was kind of like, hey, you're going to go to college and, go do something different. You're not going to go to the military like other people go into the military. And, I say that tongue in cheek in case my mom listens, but, now out of the 5 kids they've had, 2 of us are Marine officers. And so, there's definitely something about being from that area that it was never a question of branch. Like for me, if I ever was going to serve, it was very clear, like I am going to be a Marine. Like that was the only deal. I went to the Citadel. While I was at the Citadel, I didn't commission out of there. I had a bunch of buddies go in the Army, go in the Marine Corps. I graduated, took a job. And I remember I was a concrete plant manager and I supervised, 30 concrete truck drivers. I'm like 23 years old or something. I got a company truck, and it's like, oh man, like I made it. I'm really cool. And a guy that was a year ahead of me, was in Afghanistan. They hit an IED. They blew up. One of his Marines lost a leg. And I remember him calling me and talking to him. And I remember sitting up at I'm in this tower, like a concrete plant's like literally a tower. You look down, you're like sand's coming in, cement, fly ash, you're managing all that. And I just thought I can do this at any point in my life. At any point in my life, I can come back and be the king of concrete. And I wasn't the king of concrete, right? But my point is I could do this anytime. I can't serve forever. And, I walked into the recruiting office on, actually September 11th, 2011.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I want to join. Yeah. And I think that's part of, knew if I was going to join, I was going to be a Marine. And then I see it now as I lead 140 people. And, see the difference in generations, it's a lot different. You start to be like, oh man, a 37-year-old is a lot different than an 18-year-old. But for me, it was 9/11, right? It's like, hey, I'm in algebra class and this thing happens and you should serve your country. And so I didn't know that at the time, I am joining because of 9/11, right? But now as look back and a little bit of age under my belt and you reflect, you're like, oh, I was a byproduct of being a teenager when this thing happened and, wanted to be a part of something bigger myself. And, being where I'm from, it had to be the Marine Corps. So here I am.